If you know from the start that you're primarily going to target mobile devices with an MVC4 web application, then you can use the new mobile project template. The mobile project template creates a site that has about the same content as the internet project template. So it has a register and a login view and an account controller, but all of the content and the display is optimized for mobile devices. In Visual Studio, let's go ahead and create a mobile MVC4 application so we can see what it looks like. And while the Solution Explorer is getting ready, let me show you what an internet application looks like when you do File New Project. This is the content that you get by default. Now our mobile application is ready. Let me go ahead and hit Control F5 to run that, and we can compare these two and see that the mobile version is really optimized for small devices that you interact with using a finger instead of a mouse, so the buttons are larger, it's easier to click, but they have about the same content. You can log in and register in the mobile application. You can log in and register in the desktop or the internet application. And as we'll see, the markup is very similar also. But let's take this URL and put it into a mobile emulator, the Opera Mobile Emulator. So this is the internet site running on the Opera Mobile Emulator. And now let me take that URL and compare these two also, just so you can see that the mobile application project template is really trying to give you something that'll still work on a screen size that is smaller. In this case, we're using a screen size in this emulator that simulates a phone that's 240 pixels by 315 pixels. But it's also working in the desktop browser in the background there because it's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's going to look good on a mobile device, but also work still in a desktop browser that's using a full screen. And just to be clear, what I'm showing you is two different web applications. One is built from the Internet project template, and one is built from the mobile project template. Later on, we'll look at how to support both desktop and mobile browsers from the same single application. But for now, let's take a quick peek at what the code and structure is that the mobile application template gave us out of the box. If you've done any work with ASP.NET MVC before, then the solution created by the mobile project template will be very familiar. You still have folders for controllers, models, scripts, and views. Inside of the controllers folder, I can still find an account controller and home controller. These have pretty much the exact same code as the home controller and account controller produced by the internet template or the intranet template. And the views folder will still have a shared folder with a layout view inside that the entire application can use. And so this is all very structurally similar to what you'd see in any other starting MVC project. The secret to the mobile site is the jQuery mobile library. This is a script that you'll find in your scripts folder when you create a new project through the mobile template. It's installed as a NuGet package, so if you ever need to update your jQuery mobile reference, you can just right-click on the project and look for an updated NuGet package. And even if you haven't worked with jQuery mobile before, you can probably tell just from the name that jQuery Mobile builds on top of jQuery, and it provides things like touch-friendly widgets to make mobile applications easier to build. I'm not going to go into any detail about jQuery Mobile in this module, but if you're interested, you can see my jQuery Mobile course on Pluralsight.com. I'll just point out that the layout view includes the jQuery Mobile script, since jQuery Mobile would be something you'd use throughout the application. And the layout view instantiates jQuery Mobile widgets using data dash attributes. Here you can see the page, the header, and the content area. This is generally how you work with jQuery Mobile. It can be a very declarative programming model. And what I could do is come in and add another anchor tag here in the header, something that points to Pluralsight.com and has the text Pluralsight. Then I'll just save that view. We'll refresh the home page in a browser, and there you can see that it has become a button here in the header area. That's just a jQuery Mobile convention and something that you can change, but the idea is it will go through and replace your links in the header with buttons that are easier to push on with a finger when you're working with the site on a phone or on a tablet. So this is the starting point you can work from with a mobile project template, and it's all the same from an ASP.NET MVC4 perspective. You're just building HTML for the client, and there's nothing you need to do differently on the server or inside of your project. What's going to be different is how you use jQuery Mobile or other client-side libraries to create these widgets and give your site a more natural mobile feel. So next, let's look at a slightly more challenging scenario of supporting both desktop and mobile browsers from the same application.